Previously on Red Seas, you joined us as we left the UK, flew halfway around the world, and found ourselves on a literal cliffhanger. So we are here today. We are going to go and find the boat that we're hoping to buy, get on board and take a look around and see if this is the one.
Too right. I hope this is the one.
I'm so excited. I can't believe it feels like the last 4 days have just been like 4 months to get here, and now suddenly this is it. We're actually here.
It's
and
real.
We might get to meet the boat we're going to live on for the foreseeable future. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, let's do it. So we're here.
Home, maybe, hopefully. I need to get the dinghy down, check there's fuel in it, but first let's get in the door and have a look around. This is either going to be a sauna, a state, or beautiful. So beautiful. So this is it.
We're here.
We're here.
We made it. I want to go for a swim. My hands are actually shaking.
That was a bit of a rough night. We're on a really rolling anchorage. The waves are coming from behind us, the current from the front. So the boat's a little bit all over the place. Plus we're still getting our legs. We're just settling in now, starting to find our way around the boat. However, today, hopefully, the fiberglass guy is going to turn up and fix a slight issue on one of the doors, and the mechanic is going to turn up and fix the gen set. Now, if he does that, then it's going to be so good. We'll have AC if we want it, which would be, for now, while we're still getting used to the temperatures, that would be so good. So, we'll see. Hopefully that won't happen too late into the morning, because if he comes early enough, we can get away and maybe we can sail on to an anchorage that's a little less rolling.
So, let me explain. You might have noticed that we haven't actually bought this boat yet. And no, we're not planning on stealing it, but we have in fact found ourselves in the middle of an incredibly rare opportunity. You see, the seller of this boat runs a charter company, but when COVID hit and shut down a lot of the tourism here, he decided it was time to move on. When we first spoke with him, he said we could stay on the boat for a few weeks while we checked all the systems were working, and then sail her to the nearest boatyard to get a haul out and professional survey. In case you're wondering, no, this is definitely not normal, and I really don't know how we get ourselves into these situations. But anyway, now you're up to speed, let's get back to it. We've been spending the morning trying to acclimatise to the weather and just chill out a little bit because we were so exhausted when we arrived. And we're slowly getting there. We've been airing out all of the cupboards, getting all the hatches open because this boat has just been left for a good few months, so it's not in the best condition. And then to cool off, we can just jump straight in the water and have a swim, which is amazing. And to try and feel like we're actually doing something, we got the fins out and some brushes, and thought we'd have a go at cleaning the hulls. How's it looking?
We're getting there. I'm due for a pair of crocodile fins.
Yeah, so we haven't emptied any of our suitcases or anything yet. They're still all just sitting in the saloon. It's far too hot to actually be doing any manual labour like lifting bags and things. But we'll get there eventually. So we had 3 mechanics today, all on the boat working on the generator. That's the one thing that's still not quite right. Unfortunately, the mechanics they had basically said it's slightly beyond their ability. They weren't sure what it was. Right.
It's to do with the fuel getting into the generator, which he says probably isn't a big thing, but he doesn't quite know how to fix it. Today we are picking up a hire car. We're going to go do proper provisioning, buy lots of water, that kind of thing. I'm going to do a quick test of the engines, see that they start, and then we're going to head in, pick up the car and go adventure. that's a good sign. What isn't such a good sign is one of our engines looks to be completely empty. No fuel in the tank. But either way, they started. First time, which is great news. This is the starter motor for the generator. And it's so annoying. So basically there's these little cogs sit in there. And the thing that creates the, well, when it gets electricity, it spins up the engine in here. Then engages this sort of flywheel cog, which bursts forward, and that's what starts the engine. It's kind of like back in the day when you see those guys starting planes. Basically, that's what it's doing. And the bit that's failed isn't the whole motor. The motor assembly is fine. It's all, can you see in here? This nylon cog. See how stripped back it is?
Oh, yeah.
So basically, every time these little wheels would try and turn, they just turned freely and they stripped back more and more of the nylon. So that's just the top of the tooth. There's nothing underneath it.
Yeah.
So then this wasn't turning. So when the engine engaged, or the motor engaged, it tried to spin them and just ripped through the nylon over and over again.
So can we just get a new part for that?
Apparently these are really hard to come by.
Of course they are.
But if we can find one, then yeah, we swap out that nylon part and we're good. We can put all that together. That's where we're at.
So that's a new job added onto today's list while we're out.
Of course. Check out the sweet wheels.
We have freedom!
You know what I'm liking? That he doesn't look at his door.
Oh, excellent.
You know why?
Because it's the wrong car.
That's the trouble. Okay, so that boat's pretty good. So we just got here, we spoke to Kiwi, a mechanic here who thinks he might be able to find us the parts we need to get going.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. He said he's going to give us a call in half an hour after he's probably ashed around the whole island, I imagine. And then if we can get this starter motor, then we can get the generator put back together and then we can get away.
Yeah. So on to try and get SIM cards now so that we can actually communicate with people and have some data.
Oh man, data.
This is like the third time we're going to the shop, so we'll try and hopefully see if they've got something that works. We're here at Digicel, and most of the places that we go on St Vincent, because there's just so few cases on the island,
One case.
we just don't really notice it. There's no need to wear masks most of the places we go, but here at Digicel they do need them. So luckily we have got a couple, but it's just a little kind of entering back into reality rather than forgetting where we are and what's going on with the world. So we'll try and get some SIM cards here, see how we get on.
All right, success.
Yeah,
What we got?
should be good to go. So we've got a SIM card each with 10 gig of data for the month, and I've got a million messages pinging through already.
We're connected to the world.
I'm so excited. I've got my list, I'm feeling prepared. Artificially flavoured, who would have guessed?
No. What do we think?
Oh, we are successful, but that was a mission.
It's ridiculous.
The pricing is a lot more expensive than we were expecting. So I've been saying it's about 20% higher than the prices in the UK. I felt like maybe it was even more than that for some things.
Definitely.
And some things are just really hard to find. I am exhausted, but I'm glad that we've done something during the day. We've proven that we can live during the daytime. It's not too hot.
It's a step in the right direction.
Time to load up. Yeah. I think that only counts when you're climbing up though.
Muscles of steel. Well done.
What are you doing in there?
we were worried because we'd managed to use up like half of our water in 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
3 days. And we're doing like 6-second showers and stuff, so it was really quite scary. Turns out, there's a water maker down here, and these pipes up here you might not be able to see, but there's a water maker hiding down in the shadows here. Turns out that somebody left the reverse flush flow open on this. So basically what normally happens is the water maker takes salt water, pulls it in from the sea, puts it through some membranes and filters and things, and then makes fresh water that we can drink. But when you're finished to clean those membranes that have been sucking all the salt water out, you send some fresh water back through them, and that gets all the salt away. Well, someone just left the tap on that feeds the fresh water back, so we've just been pouring our freshwater tanks back into the sea. I just need to try and find somewhere up here in the dark, there's like a filter to turn on and off.
Do you want a torch?
That would be kind of handy, yeah. Okay, good. So down in here, somewhere, there is a tap that I need to turn off. Find it!
That looks so easy. Why did we not think of it before?
Yeah. Okay, so now with that tap shut, we might actually have some water. We can get filled up and not just pour it away.
Ooh, how extravagant.
I know.
I've just come back to the boat from Barefoot. They did some laundry for us, and we've got a new contact for shipping. We've got a couple of boxes left still in the UK that we need to ship over here once we knew where we were going to be based. The plan had been to ship them to Miami in the States, and then we would sail up over the next few months and try and meet up with that and collect them. But apparently there is a banana boat that takes all the bananas from the Caribbean and ships them across to the UK and to Europe. And so when they come back this way, they have an empty boat. So we might be able to get our boxes loaded onto the banana boat, and that comes once a week. So that would be amazing if we could get that sorted, because it would come a lot sooner than we had been planning. So we need to look into that, but we now have a local contact, which is awesome. I just got on board and found Ian with his head back in the engine bay with a mechanic. They're working on the generator, so I'm going to go and see how it's getting on. We got a new starter motor yesterday, which does work, but the generator was still not pulling fuel up or something. We were hoping to get away with this afternoon, but it might look like we're stuck for another day. So fingers crossed they get it working. We'll go and see how they're getting on.
We're definitely getting there. In my head, it's either not enough fuel, glow plugs, or injectors, which is not enough fuel. So almost started, but it didn't sound like it was firing all cylinders. So it's close, but can you hear it? Nah.
No, that's not going.
Oh, there's a little burst there as it started trying. Come on. We're leaving!
We hope.
This time. So the plan is we've tried to have the generator fixed a couple of times now.
Yeah, because we were hoping to leave today.
Yeah.
We thought we were all set to go, but then a mechanic came back to have another go at the generator and still wasn't able to fix it. So it was good that we tried. We were really hopeful because it got really close. But now we've just decided we'll cut and run. We'll leave it just now. We'll survive without it, and we will start heading south to try and get to Carriacou in Grenada for our haul-out date.
Yeah, we'll get our COVID tests in Union, we think.
We think.
And then that's the last island in the Grenadines. And then we'll jump over to Carriacou, which is the first island in Grenada.
We might need to quarantine as well. They're just sort of in the middle of deciding if they're going to lift the quarantine rules for the local islands or if they're still going to force that.
Yeah, because there's rumours it's 2 days, no days, 5 days, 10 days. It's all over the place. Then we decide to pull the boat out of the water. A surveyor comes with a rubber hammer and hits it a few times.
Ironically, we'll take it for a sea trial, having just sailed it ourselves. So it'll be interesting to see if we learn anything new on that part or if we've discovered everything en route ourselves. But
hey, it's always good to get someone who knows more than us, because we're not pretending we know anything. And this is it. We don't own this boat yet. That's really important. So we need to make it from here to Carriacou and get it out the water without breaking it.
Very important fact.
Hopefully, we can get ourselves from here to there in the next couple of days. And and then find out if this is going to be the boat that we buy and live on forever.
It's quite exciting.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's actually happening. So where we are in Blue Lagoon in St. Vincent, it's been amazing. Quick shout out actually, the guys at Barefoot Charter,
Yeah.
they are incredible. So if anybody watching this is even remotely interested in going sailing and they happen to be able to get to this part of the world, it looks incredible to sail. They have been just amazing.
They've been so helpful. Like, we've had so many issues, all the issues you would expect with turning up into a new part of the world and not knowing anybody, not knowing anything about the local customs or where to buy things. And when we've been stuck, every single time they have lent us like their manpower, their time, their knowledge, their belongings. They've been so welcoming.
This is it. You know, when you arrive and you find out your bedding is moldy, and they've already let you hang out in their staff area for hours while you're waiting for the boat to be ready. They then give you bedding for the night and say, it's fine, just give it back to us when you're ready, and wash the moldy stuff for you.
Yeah.
They've just been amazing. In the meantime, the sun is going down, and cheesy as it is, you're supposed to be sundowners.
You are. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit like a poor man's sundowner.
What do you mean? I paid good money for this water.
It's all you need.
It's the whiskey of the ocean.
You've sold it.
Oh, good year. Thanks for joining us on our crazy adventure. If you'd like to know more, why not check out our website or follow us on social media at Real Red Seas. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell. It really helps us out. If you'd like to support us, check out our Patreon.